A good day to all. Today we are going to deal with a play by William Shakespeare. So, we are not going to deal with the entire play, we are just going to deal with a part of the play. The name of the play is Julius Caesar, and the chapter that which we are going to learn is called The Death of Caesar. Okay, chapter 11, page number 113. So, this play is about an emperor named Julius Caesar. He really existed in history, but this play is not about his life story. There are so many fictional elements in it. Nevertheless, it is one of the most famous tragedies of Shakespeare. So, this is a tragedy. This drama or play is a tragedy. It doesn't have a happy ending. So there are other tragedies by Shakespeare, other comedies by Shakespeare. Before we start the chapter, let us look a bit about the writer, William Shakespeare. So take page number 120. William Shakespeare, born in 1564 and died in 1616, is widely regarded as the greatest playwright in the world. So Shakespeare is considered as the greatest playwright in the world. Playwright is a person who writes plays or dramas, okay? Playwright, W is silent, okay? Do not say playwright, it's wrong. Playwright, okay? His plays has been translated into every major language and are performed more often than those of any other playwright. So, Shakespeare originally wrote all these plays in English, and these plays are translated into every major languages, probably in Marathi as well. And these plays are even performed today more than the plays of other playwrights. Even though they are 500 years old, these plays are still very famous. Shakespeare's work cover the entire range of human emotions from comedy to tragedy. Like I told you before, Shakespeare deals with different kinds of human emotions. He has written about the comedy, like the humor, happy themes in his plays. He has written about tragedy, very disastrous, chaotic situations in his plays. He has historical plays which are more based on facts, historical facts, okay? And he has also written tragic comedies, meaning the play would begin in a very disastrous, chaotic manner, but it would definitely have a happy ending. The play The Tempest is such an example of tragic comedy. Hamlet, All's Well That Ends Well, a comedy of errors, are among his most famous works. So these are some of the most famous works by William Shakespeare. Shakespeare is not only a playwright, he is also a poet. He is very known for his sonnets. Sonnets are 14-lined poem having 14 lines and having a particular rhyming scheme. So the rhyming scheme of a sonnet, Shakespearean sonnet, is A B A B C D C D E F E F G G. I am just telling you this as extra knowledge, okay? So Shakespeare has written 156 sonnets. Okay. Before we start the chapter, let us get introduced to the characters in this play. The major character is Julius Caesar, who is the emperor of Rome. Decius, Cassius, Brutus, Cinna, Metellus, Casca, Trebonius. They are all conspirators against Caesar. So who are conspirators? Before I tell you who conspirators are, I want all of you to know the meaning of conspiracy. Conspiracy. What is the meaning of conspiracy? Plotting or planning to harm or kill someone. That is called conspiracy. So these people who practice conspiracy are called conspirators. So these people are conspiring to kill Julius Caesar because they think Julius Caesar is going to be a bad ruler. He is going to rule in such a way that he would not take care of his people, but he would only rule for the benefit of himself. But that is not true. Majority of the conspirators want power for themselves. That is why they are planning to kill Julius Caesar. Okay. The other characters are Publius, Popilius. They are both Roman senators. So, who is a senator? Senator is a group of people having the power to make laws. Just like how we have the MPs and MLAs today, the senators were very powerful people back then. Okay. Artemidorus, he is having a special talent. He is having the power to see the future. Okay. So the people who can see the future, they are called soothsayer. So soothsayer, Artemidorus is a soothsayer, and he predicts attack on Caesar and tries to warn him with the names of his killers. Okay, so he tries to prevent the attack on Caesar by trying to warn him about it. Unfortunately, it was not successful. And apart from Artemidorus, there is another soothsayer. Okay, soothsayer, his name is not given here. A person able to see the future. That is the meaning of soothsayer. Then we have Mark Antony. He is Caesar's friend. He is a good friend of Caesar. On the morning of the attack on him, Caesar wakes uneasily. So, when Caesar woke up on the particular day in which he was going to be attacked, he was having an uneasy feeling. He was having a gut feeling that something bad was going to happen. His wife begs him not to venture out that day, for she has dreamed of harm coming to him. Similarly, his wife also had a nightmare. She had a nightmare that Julius Caesar is going to get harmed. So she pleaded with Caesar. She begged him not to go outside. Venture out means to go out. But he refuses to listen, proclaiming, "Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once." So Caesar said, "I am not ready to sit at home like a coward." Coward is a person who is afraid, who does not have courage. So I won't sit at home like a coward. Cowards die so many times. He is not talking literally, okay? Every time a person is afraid to do anything, according to Caesar, they are dying little by little. In the sense, they are not literally dying, they are figuratively dying. So Julius Caesar is saying we should be courageous to face everything that comes across. So Caesar is saying a truly valiant person, valiant means courageous, a truly courageous person will only encounter death once in their life. This quote by Caesar seems very inspiring, but it is kind of arrogant, kind of misleading, because we should be confident, we should be courageous, we should never be overconfident and overcourageous in nature, because such kind of arrogance is the reason why Caesar was killed. He was blind enough to see. He was being betrayed by the very people he knows very well. He proceeds to the Capitol. Capitol is the building where the legislative assembly takes place, okay, kind of like the parliament. Write down the definition of Capitol. Do not get confused with capital, okay, this is different. Capitol, the building in which legislative meeting takes place, okay. So on his way to the Capitol to meet the senators, he encounters a soothsayer who had previously warned him of harm coming to him on the Ides of March. So on his way, he encountered a soothsayer who told him that something bad is going to happen to him. In the Ides of March, Ides means middle of March. So this soothsayer had warned him earlier, not today. He warned him previously, sometime before, that something bad is going to happen in the middle of March. like the 15th, 16th, like that, Ides of March, and that day is today. Okay. Okay, so we can stop here for today. Thank you all.